Hi guys and welcome to True Crime UK. First things first, if you're new to the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget the notification bell so you know when my content comes out. I'm broadening the true crime horizons, and for the first time I'll be taking True Crime UK across the pond to our friends in the good old US of A. Today I'll be talking about the first mass school shooting to be committed by a female. This shooting was the third school shooting to occur. Unfortunately, school shootings are all too common in the USA. Something you think would have been addressed by the American government by now. This shooting took place on January 29th, 1979 at Grover Cleveland Elementary School in San Diego, California, United States. The school principal and a custodian were killed, 8 children and a police officer were injured. A 16-year-old girl named Brenda Spencer, who lived in a house across the street from the school, was later to be convicted of the shootings. This video is all about the Cleveland Elementary School shooting. Brenda Spencer, born April 3rd, 1962, lived in San Carlos, San Diego, California. Her family house was right across the street from Grover Cleveland Elementary School. She was 16, 5'2", unusually thin and had bright red hair. A classmate of Brenda described her as pretty crummy looking. After her parents separated, she lived with her father, Wallace Spencer. Both father and daughter slept on a single mattress on the living room floor. Police later found half-empty alcohol bottles scattered throughout the house. In 2001, she accused her father of having drunkenly subjected her to beatings and sexual abuse. He said the allegations were not true. Spencer is said to have self-identified herself as being gay from birth. Acquaintances said Spencer expressed hostility towards policemen, had spoken about shooting one, and had talked of doing something big to get on television. Spencer showed exceptional ability as a photographer. She won the first prize in a Humane Society competition. Apart from photography, Brenda was uninterested in school. Brenda attended Patrick Henry High School, where one teacher remembered frequently asking if she was awake during class. Later during tests, she was in custody. It was discovered Spencer had an injury to the temporal lobe of her brain. It was linked to an accident on a bicycle. In early 1978, Brenda was referred to a facility for problem students into which Spencer had been referred for truancy. Informed her parents that she was suicidal. That summer, Spencer was arrested for shooting out the windows of Grover Cleveland Elementary with a BB gun and for burglary. In December, a psychiatric evaluation arranged by her probation officer recommended that Spencer be admitted to a mental hospital for depression, but her father refused to give permission. For Christmas 1978, her father gave her a Ruger semi-automatic .22 caliber rifle with a telescopic sight and 500 rounds of ammunition, as you would do. Spencer later said, "I asked for a radio and he bought me a gun." Asked why he'd done that, she answered, "I felt like he wanted me to kill myself." On Monday, January 29th, 1979, a little before 8 a.m. that morning, children began to line up outside Grover Cleveland Elementary School in San Diego, California. They were waiting for their principal to open up the gates so they could head inside. Brenda Spencer began shooting at children, waiting for Principal Burton Ragg to open the gates to Grover Cleveland Elementary. She injured 8 children, starting with 9-year-old Cam Miller, as he was wearing Spencer's favourite colour, blue. Spencer shot and killed Ragg as he and teacher Darryl Barnes tried to help children. She also killed custodian Mike Schucker as he tried to pull a student to safety. A police officer responded to a call for assistance during the incident was wounded in the neck as soon as he arrived. Meanwhile, San Diego police had raced to the school on reports of gunfire, children shot, then an officer wounded. Patrol officer Ted Casanat halted a garbage truck driver headed into the shooting scene and commandeered the truck. He drove it into the parking lot to serve as a shield, while officers and school staff removed the wounded. After firing 36 times with 11 bullets finding their targets, Spencer barricaded herself inside her home for several hours. SWAT officer Jim McGinley said he took up a sniper position on the neighbour's roof. His rifle was trained at Brenda Spencer's back door of the home. SWAT officer Marty Dutz aimed his rifle at the front door from the safety of a schoolroom. They said they had the green light to kill Spencer if they had an opportunity. While there, she spoke by telephone to a reporter from the San Diego Union Tribune, who had been randomly calling telephone numbers in the area on the hope to speak to Spencer. Spencer told the reporter she had shot at the school children and adults because, "I don't like Mondays. This livens up the day." She also told police negotiators the children and adults whom she had shot were easy targets and that she was going to come out shooting. Officer Paul Olson, primary negotiator, talked to Spencer on and off by phone for hours, urging her to throw out her gun and surrender. Unbelievably, he promised that a Burger King Whopper would be waiting for her if she come out. Spencer came out of her house at about 2:30 p.m, laying her .22 rifle and a pellet rifle on the ground and boxes of ammunition. Police then drove the teen to the homicide unit for questioning. Officers found beer and whiskey bottles cluttered around the house, but said Spencer did not appear to be intoxicated when arrested. Brenda Spencer was charged as an adult and pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder and assault with a deadly weapon. On April 4, 1980, a day after her 18th birthday, she was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Spencer was diagnosed as an epileptic and received medication to treat her epilepsy and depression. While at a California institution for women in Chino, she worked repairing electronic equipment. Under the terms of her sentencing, Spencer became eligible for hearings to consider her suitability for parole in 1993. Normally, very few people convicted on a charge of murder were able to obtain parole in California before 2011. As of December 2015, she had been unsuccessful at 4 parole board hearings. At her first hearing, Spencer said she had hoped police would shoot her and that she had been a user of alcohol and drugs at the time of the crime, although the results of drug tests done when she was taken into custody were negative. In her 2001 hearing, Spencer first claimed that her father had been subjecting her to beatings and sexual abuse, but he said the allegations were not true. The parole board chairman said that as she had not previously told any prison staff about the allegations, he doubted whether they were true. In 2005, a San Diego deputy district attorney cited an incident of self-harm from 4 years earlier when Spencer's girlfriend was released from jail, as showing that she was psychotic and unfit to be released. The self-harm is commonly reported as scratching the words courage and pride into her own skin. However, Spencer corrected this during a parole hearing as reading unforgiven and alone. In 2009, the board again refused her application for parole and ruled it would be 10 years before she would be considered again. As of June 2022, she remains imprisoned at the California Institution for Women. She was eligible for parole in September 2021, but voluntarily waived the hearing for 1 more year. Her next subsequent suitability hearing is scheduled for August 18th, 2022. Now, if you're a bit old like me, then you remember Bob Geldof and the Boomtown Rats. He was particularly struck by Spencer's claim that she did it because she did not like Mondays, and he began writing a song about it, also incorporating the reporter's "Tell Me Why You Done It," called "I Don't Like Mondays." It was released in July 1979 and was #1 for 4 weeks in the United Kingdom, and was the band's biggest hit in their native island. Although it did not make the top 40 in the US, it still received extensive radio airplay. The song, though, was not played in San Diego. Geldof has later mentioned that Brenda Spencer wrote to him saying she was glad she had done it because I'd made her famous, which is not a good thing to live with. To this day, many people that remember this song have no idea what this song is truly about.
I don't like Mondays, I wanna shoot. Ooh, the whole day down.